good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you are, my friends and my well wishers. I'm okay in Bangalore right now, and this is my second talk on the global perspective and the current situation of holistically the whole world's economy, political, and socio-economic impact. So, predominantly, we will discuss today about the United States situation because I consider that as a world leader of entire globe, American economy, American political, social impacts are directly or indirectly coupled with be it China or India or any part of the world. So, a couple of you, my friends, have suggested me to talk more about the economic impact with respect to the current situation which is going on in United States. So three things which is by and large we need to look at from the impact perspective: political impacts, social impacts, and then the economic impacts. So these are the three primarily by and large categorizations. So at present moment, what is happening is three things which went wrong. Point number one, the global pandemic situation of COVID-19, which is impacting the social and political status of United States as a leader of world. So then the George Floyd's case, which is people are considering it is good amount of impact in African Americans, especially African American society. So point number three is also more about the leadership. There is a vacuum of good leadership, whether it is Joe Biden or Mr. Donald Trump, but their leveling and right direction is where I can see the vacuum. So last but not least, most important thing is Americans are now scared about what is happening in terms of pandemic relief is prime important. They are thinking what will happen after pandemic is over. And in the meantime, we can also see that Trump is left, right and center sending some tweets which is increasing in number, and it is creating another problem in American political and social scenario. So recently I have read one news that American and Delta offer buyouts as the largest airlines, and they are also struggling for recovery. So then of course the Wall Street's rally fades what President Trump announces regarding China in the news conference which is happening on daily basis. So most important thing in between is Nordstrom sales is dropped by 40% in first quarter. So if you look all the data, then it definitely signifies a greater amount of depression. So recently I have also read another news that another 3.8 million people lost their job in United States last week due to this pandemic situation, and it is continuing. The numbers are continuing. The pace of layoff appears to be now slowing down, but in just 6 weeks an unprecedented 30 million Americans have now sought unemployment benefits, and numbers are still growing day by day. So the latest figure from the Labor Department released on this Thursday showed a fourth consecutive week of declining claims. So while the trend is encouraging, the rate of losses means US unemployment is still on the course to reach a level unseen since the Great Depression, which has happened in 1930. So the figure also, still undercounting the number of people go out of work, and some states are still declining with backlog of claims after their systems were overwhelmed by the massive volume of applications. So now coming back to Florida, Florida has become a notable black spot, and where as of Thursday, if I can remember correctly, they received more than 1.9 million claims and processed just over 64,000 out of this is the slowest rate in the nation. So wherein if you compare this economy status with China, so China is the second largest economy in the globe, right? The largest exporter and the largest exchange reserves in the world. So however, even though China has one of the fastest growing GDP in the world, in 2019 scenario, if you see, the economic growth slowed slightly, reaching 6.1% against 6.8% as compared to 2018. That is the result of a structural slowdown as the economy moves away from investment-led growth model to government implement policies to reduce financial vulnerabilities. So then of course resilient external demand and robust domestic household consumption bolstered this growth again. So despite rising concerns about financial risks amid and also the economic restructuring led by communist government, I do see that potential threat inside China, because inside China there is a great amount of unrest. People are losing their job, production is piled up, no new production is happening, layoffs are happening, a great amount of depression in the job market has been observed, though the Chinese CC Communist Party is not allowing the news to come into public or in world's attention. But this is what exactly, it is what it is. The truth is people are indeed losing their jobs in China as well. So there will be impact in 2020, 2021 by December month. The Chinese economy will grow, and rather than grow will definitely fall by 1.2% in 2020, and this is just because of COVID-19, and then also pick up in 2021. So 2 points, 2 takeaways from this discussion. American and Chinese economy definitely contracting, and China will have little less impact than United States, because United States the other activities are also impacting their overall situation, political unrest, and then of course the COVID-19. But IMF assumes that China will overcome from this situation, but great amount of depression, dissatisfaction, job loss and layoffs will definitely happen internally in China. To divert the complete attention, China have opened many threats: Hong Kong, Taiwan, South China Sea, problems with India and Indian border. So all these are creating to just divert the attention of local Chinese people from the real problem. So this is just a small attempt. So please do like my videos, and thank you for watching. You have a blessed day ahead. Thank you. See you soon.